Hey everybody, welcome back to Easeldoesitstudio. So I don't know if you remember a while back, I tried to make this like aquarium and I didn't have the right mold. So I went on Temu and I bought the mold. So this is the mold. This is the cover. So we are going to make this today, and I'm going to try again. I did figure out a solution for my previous one. I just had a clear stand that I put it in, so it worked out beautifully. But this way, I might be able to get the flowers more 3D like I wanted to. And I also I have these little tiny koi fish. So I am going to also try, and we're going to pour these. And we are going to pour them. I just found that I had some Resin-Crete left. So we're going to use the Resin-Crete by J. Diction today. But I'm going to mix it the same way that I mix the mixed mold with, because it's the same type of stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this like this, and we're just going to move this back a little bit so I don't get powder in there. So what I want to do is I want to mix up a little bit of the Resin-Crete. I'm going to mix them up, and then I'm going to try to separate them. I'm going to do some black. I'm going to leave some white. And let's see. I have the fluorescent orange or the regular tangerine. I think we're going to go with the tangerine. So, I do need to get, what am I going to use to mix it? Because I know we don't need a whole bunch. So, I'm thinking if I've got one for orange, one for black, and then whatever we have for white, I think that will be good. And I gotta grab my water. And let me see. Just gonna grab a cup, and we're gonna just pour a bunch of water in there, because I don't have much space on my desk here. Okay, so I am going to mix, and I know I don't need much at all, because these little fish do not take that much. Let me, so I'm just trying to find something that is small enough that I could, if I have extras, I can pour into. Let's see. Let's see. I've got, I don't want, all right, let's do, we'll just take out one of the giraffes, where I'm using the oranges and the blacks. You know, we could actually maybe fill this and get one of those made. I don't know. So I'm gonna, now this is 10-3, 10 being the powder, 3 being the water by weight. I I suck at math. You guys all know that. So I just pour according to consistency. This stuff and any of the mediums is very, very forgiving. So you really, really don't have to stress about it. If it's too thin, it's just going to take a little longer to cure. And this, I believe this one is 30 minutes to be fully cured. So it doesn't take long at all. So I'm going to pour some in there. And some in there. And I do want to leave a little bit of white. So we're going to leave this white. So I'm going to put some orange. Let me get a thumbtack. When you don't use these, they kind of... there we go. We've got some orange. It might be more than what we needed, but we've got some orange. Because remember, this is white, so whatever you put in there is going to be lighter than what you really want. So you've always got to remember to make it darker than what you want. And this is the black. So let's pour some of the black. Oh, I got some crusty bits, but that's okay. And I'm going to put a good amount because I do want this to be more black than gray. Because if you don't put enough of the black, it will be a gray. So, and koi fish, at least the ones I've seen, are little bits of black, orange, and white. All right, so I'm good with that. And then whatever's left, we'll pour into the giraffe. All right, so let's see. We'll start one with a little bit of orange. And we're going to start one with a little bit of black. And then we'll start one with a little bit of white. And then we're going to put some white in here. And we'll put a little bit of white. And then we're going to pour some orange. And we'll get some orange in this little guy. And then we're going to pour black. And that way, I figure we could have a couple of koi fish in our little pond that we're going to make. So, and then we'll... All right, so we just want to bang them to make sure that we get all the little bubbles out. And let's pour some black. And let's see, we're going to get some more white in this one. And then we can pick, you know, whichever one we think looks better. All right, and then we're just going to pour that, and then we are going to pour some black. Now, I've never poured these in like the resin creed or mix to mold or anything like that. I've only done these once with resin. So it's going to be interesting to see kind of how they turn out. And now we'll just kind of finish him off. Yeah, and these cups are not the greatest for trying to get, you know, large amounts of something out. So I'm just going to pour that up like that so we can get a little something on the sides. All right, so I'm going to throw that cup away. We have just a little bit more black. We might as well get that in there. And then when I mix up the rest, I will just pour that over. I'll just add, we'll add to it. All right, so let's get our little fishy out of the way here. And I'm going to take another cup, just put that on the ground. All right. Now, I do not know how much those hold. So, I'm gonna, let's see, we will start with this cup. And let's just get a bunch of powder in here. Have some extra right here. I was thinking about mixing the blue powder in. All right, let me do that. I do have a little bit of this. This I had got off Temu. This is like a concrete powder, and I absolutely love this color, but the last I looked, it was discontinued. So whatever, when we run out, we run out. So there isn't much I can do about that, because this is a beautiful, beautiful blue for these powders. And if you mix your powder first and you need to add, at least you know you have your powder colored. I don't know how much that's going to take, so I guess I'm going to pre-mix up another thing of the blue, just because I want the top and the bottom to kind of match. All right, let's start with this, and then we can kind of see if our colors are similar. And the reason that I'm going blue is because I'm going to make this like an underwater aquarium. So I figured if we have that blue base around it, then this one looks a smidge darker. Okay. All right, I guess we're gonna go with this, guys. And as you can see, I am making a nice big old mess, just like I always do. All right. So let's get this mixed. Just thicken that just a smidge. All right, let me move some stuff here out of my way. And let's pour this rim first, because I don't believe that is going to take very much at all. So, and this is just the outside rim that we are filling. And then whatever I got in the middle will just break off after. And I do want this to be as full as I can get it without it because this is going to be our frame. All right. So I'm just I'll let this cure up a little longer than normal because I did make it a little bit thinner. Okay. Let me just re-stir this up. And we're gonna just pour down the sides. Now this has a hole that is going to be to put our lights through. All right. So all we gotta do is take some of our powder here. And we will add it and make up some more. So see what I mean about if you have your powder, then you know your colors are going to be pretty close, at least somewhat consistent. Because now we've got to finish filling this all the way up. I mean, you know, we could pour it this thick, but I'm gonna add just a little bit more water. Okay. And we're gonna just get this finished pouring. And I'm gonna need to mix up the rest. And that's the good thing about this, you know, stuff. If you don't have enough, you can make more and then add it, and you're not gonna see those mixed lines, hopefully. All right, get this out. Okay, so I definitely need to put something here to make that square, and something here to hold that in. Okay. I'm just trying to make sure I'm getting that like as square as possible. Let's see, I need something heavy. My glue, that'll maybe work. Okay. All right, so that is looking pretty consistent. Now I just need to mix a smidge of whatever so we can fill this little giraffe. And some yellow. Put some yellow. A little bit more powder. So I'm just adding powder to get it a little bit thicker because I poured too much water. All right. And, oh, and that's already starting to set. So I'm just going to take the orange and I'm going to put a couple of drops in there, and we're just going to swirl it. And I'm going to just kind of finish this little guy up. Yeah, and then we're just going to pour the little one because I think this little one will be, it'll come out better. All right, so he is runneth over, but this will probably be a disaster piece, but, you know, we can always use it for something. And let's do a little birdie. I think we'll have enough. All right. We've got one little yellow and orange bird. And yeah. I like these molds, but I don't like them because they are not even at all. Like, not even close to being even. As you can see, the mess. I'm just going to leave it, and I will deal with the trimming after. Okay, so I'm going to take my containers. I'm going to get them washed. That is setting up, and that's already setting, so we're good there. And there's that. We have our koi fish. So I am going to leave these. I got to go make dinner. So I will get dinner made, and I will get my stuff cleaned up. And then I will come back, and we will be able to finish these little buggers. All righty. So I will be back in a little bit, guys. Okay, so it has been a couple of hours. I made dinner, I had dinner, haven't cleaned up yet, but, and I've already broken the neck on that one, and I broke the feet, so we're just going to skip this piece. We're just going to skip it, because it's a mess, which I kind of had a feeling it was going to be. So let's just try to get these little fish out and see how they look. Now, I might have to put that in the curing machine just to finish drying it out. I was just now thinking of that, so I am not 100% sure. Oh, that looks pretty good. Oh, I think this one looks even better. So I did pull out some shells and some other little things. I'm just gonna clean that off right now while this is still pretty flexible. Okay, so that one looks good. And oh, and that one looks good. So if I coat, I think I like this one the best. No, this one. I think if I coat these with a sealer, it's going to make them come to life a little bit better. So I'm just going to set these aside for right now. Let's get our little bird out. So yeah, of course, I had to wash my hands 50 million times making dinner. And then I'd put lotion, and then I'd have to wash my hands again. Because we had, I made haddock. So by the time I, you know, would dip them into the egg and then into the flour, I'm like, my hand's back in the water, so they're all dry. But it's the end of the day. Oh, that came out so cute. And we got one tiny little bubble right there, but that is nothing. All right, so we got our little extras out. I'm just gonna make a pile on my side table. Let me wipe some of this mess here. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because I don't want any high spots when I take these pieces out, because that's when I will have a better chance on cracking something. So, okay. So let's do this little one first. And hopefully it does not break, because this is going to be our frame that is going to go over the piece. All right, so that's going to be the front. That's going to go on top. So I'm going to move this. And let's get this demolded. This should come out really easy. I am just going to turn it this way. All right, so came out of the mold nice and clean. All right, so this goes like this. This attaches like this. So there is a space. So if you wanted to slide an image in, you could, which I think is basically what this is supposed to be. But I have my plastic. Let me see. And this is just, it's like a film, it's a protective covering, but I'm thinking, all right, so I want it to be, a little bit bigger than the inside. All right, so let me find my outer edge. I'm going to take a marker and then I'm going to cut it on the outside of this marker. Oh, and I bought new scissors and I forgot to bring them down. Crud. All right, so I'm going to cut it on the outside, and then once I get it made, I can slide it in there. And then we can just cut, we can wipe the marker off. So instead of gluing this, hopefully we can just slide it in, which if that is the case, then I can turn this into like a picture frame, you know, in future videos. So I'm going to set that up there. And let's see. If this is going to slide down in there. All right, so that goes like that. And I did cut it a little too short at the top, but all right, so that should sit right in there like that. All right, so then I can just, I'll cut another one and I'll just make this a little bit taller. But I have my sides down here. And what I'll do is I'll use a ruler to make sure I'm nice and straight. All right, so that's gonna work, but I've gotta see if my stickers are gonna stick or I'm gonna have to dry it. So I am just going to, I pulled out a lot of different, these are the DTF stickers. And I think I got these on Temu, I think. I've had them for a while, so. All right, so basically I just want to peel one of these like bubbles and see if they're gonna stick. And they're not. So that tells me that I've got to dry this. So I am gonna stick this in my new curing machine that I got from Resiners. And I'm going to put it, let's see. We'll do the tall, and I'm gonna do 30 minutes, but I'm going to up the temperature to I'll do 150. Oh, 149 is the highest. So I have it on the max and I have it for 1 hour. So then we will be able to come back and, you know, get our, our piece all done up. So I know that the bottom, all right, so I'm lining this up to the side here. And I'm trying to do it on like something that you can see what I'm doing. All right, so that would make it even if I put it up there, but I want a little bit more space. So, I think if I cut it right there, then I will be good. So I'm going to draw a line on the bottom. Ouch. All right. So let's, and so this should, okay, so that is going to slide right down into that space. Okay. So we have our cover piece. Now I could glue this. My original thought was I was going to glue this on. But now that I realize that you can slide it in, I think that's going to be a better option. I just want to set that somewhere where it doesn't get all gunky. So I bought this new glue, and it's a 2-part glue. So you put the glue on one part, and then you spray the other part, and then when you put them together, it gives you an instant bond. So we're going to try this on attaching some of our pieces. I could use some UV, but I think I'm going to try that first and see. So let me, I'm going to get my sealant, and we're going to get these ones at least sealed. So on the tops, and that way we can kind of see what they're going to look like. And you know what? I think I'm going to use my glove. And which one am I going to use? Which one? Let's see. All right. I don't even know if I have anything left of this. This is my favorite. But we can also use this. And because I'm going to use my finger, and the reason I'm using my finger is so that we don't get brush marks. So, all right, well, let's start with this because this literally like has a drop in it. This is supposed to give an iridescent sheen, but it doesn't. And this does dry clear. So I figured since we have to wait for other pieces, you know, to completely dry, we might as well get our little fish coated, and this should give a gloss finish. So we will see. And I'm not going to do the bottom, and that way if there is any moisture left, it can come out. Just put a little tiny bit. All right, so we've got 2. I'm gonna see what I can get out of this little bottle here. See if I can get enough to do this fish. go. Because I really, really like this sealer. This gives a really nice shine, and it dries quick. Oh, well. And you gotta be gentle with their fins, not like me. But that's all right. If we put them this way, it won't even show. And then we have these two done, so. Oh, we might as well do the bird since I got it out. There we go. See that nice shine on there? Now you could also spray these with a spray like gloss finish. You could definitely do that as well. All right, so I guess we're gonna wait. We're gonna let that sit for an hour in the machine, let that finish curing, and then these will be ready, and then we can start assembling our little aquarium. So I do have the sea turtles. So I've got different ones of these. And then I have a few of these left. And the reason I checked to make sure is because I had ruined a couple of these. So I have two left. And I think I'm going to use this top one. We'll see when once the piece comes out, but I think we're going to use this one, and then I'm going to put some shells and stuff like in the bottom. So we have these that I pulled out. I have got different size starfish and shells. You know, I've got these. I have these. I'm hoping I can incorporate a few of the bigger ones this time. And then I have some more little ones. And then I have my fish tank flowers. And this is what I wanted to do last time, was glue this piece to the base. But my piece wasn't big enough. So I'm confident this time I should be able to get some of these in there. So we're just going to let that continue to cook, so we get that moisture out of there. And basically that's all I'm doing. It's kind of like putting it in an oven and letting it bake. So we've got 20 minutes left, and then it's going to cool down as long as I don't lose power again. All right, I'm trying to get these off. So if I have to reuse them, I can. And then I also have some of these that I made with resin. So hopefully we can kind of incorporate some of these as well. So I have a couple of different octopus. I've got some starfish, a seahorse, some different colored thingies. I even got like a mermaid tail. So once, you know, we start playing around and adding stuff, then I'll know more of what I'm going to be adding. So yeah. So I will be back in just a couple of minutes. And I'm going to just, I'm curious to see how these guys look. So I'll try to get them out. A little one is definitely not going to come out. And because I over poured it, I'm sure that, oh, we broke a leg off, but let's see what the, okay, so the body would have looked pretty good. So, I mean, we could always use it on a piece and just put like grass down here so it wouldn't show that he lost a couple of legs. So, yeah, you know, sometimes you try things and they work, and then other times they do not. I mean, I could glue that one back on, and this one came out really good if it would have completely came out. All right, so note to self, yellow and orange is going to be the better color choice for the giraffe. And so I mean, I technically could glue these legs back on. So yeah, I might, you know, after these dry, I might try to glue this together, and then we could maybe make something, I don't know. But yeah, not the greatest at all. But, you know, you don't know until you know. All right, so I'm just gonna move these to the side. So I don't lose the pieces. And we will get this all scooped up. Okay. So I will see you guys in just a minute. Okay, guys, I am back. It is actually now the next day. Yesterday, I let it sit in the curing machine for an hour. So I came down and had gone through the cooling cycle, and I still couldn't, I tried like one of the bubbles to try to see if it would stick, and it wouldn't stick. So I'm going to use this one. So I just want to see if this will stick today, because I really don't want to waste a whole big sheet again if it doesn't stick. And I don't know why it is not sticking. I don't know. Well, we're gonna cut it and we're gonna go with it. I don't know what is going on. And I did even put our coat of sealer on it. So, I don't know. All right, so let's see. I want this little guy kind of centered. And yeah, if I could cut straight, it might help too. And I'm gonna put it down lower. All right. Well, here goes nothing, guys. Because I want to get this finished. So if this doesn't stick, I'm going to have to go to a plan B. All right. You know what I am going to do, though, is I'm just going to trim some of this bottom off. Now, I don't see what the difference would be is trying to put one piece on versus the whole thing. But, you know, there's been some stranger things happen. All right, let me grab a knife and just see if and it's not gonna stick, guys. What the crap? Now, I have done this with mix to mold a billion times. Why on earth is this not sticking? So we're just going to leave the whole sheet of plastic in there because I am not wasting this. And these are the DTF stickers, so they should I mean, they should stick. I don't understand. Okay. So we got the first part in. Well, I guess I could have just done that last night. So that is our, which is kind of cool because it makes it look like water, I guess. All right, so we are going to put this over here to give us that 3D kind of look. And we can put that there. And then that will leave us some room for some shells and stuff like that on the bottom. But first, I have got to get my little hole here cut. There we go. Oh, I had a bubble there, so I just made a little slice in it to get the air out. All right, there we go. All right, so before we do too much, I've got to grab a light. And I just get these off Amazon in a pack. just get this all detangled. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll probably end up doing this again in a couple days, but I'll do it in resin and see what we get. So that's one of the reasons I need a little plan on that. This corner here is so that we can disguise the little hole where the light comes in. Come on. All right, so we're gonna stop right about there. And I'm gonna just kind of bend this do it this way because I think it'll be a little quicker and it won't get so tangled. And before I commit to it, let's see if it would look okay if I put one rim around. Maybe we'll double it up just so it has a little bit more light. And we'll try that and see. All right, I think we'll do that. We'll do one around the top too. So I'm just kind of twisting this so it will make it a little bit easier to... All right, so let's go ahead and try this new glue. Like I said, I have not tried this before, so I don't know how this works. I'm going to try poking it with a pin and see if that will give us that little opening. Let me get my cover off my spray. All right, so I am going to put a little drop. And then bonded. This is going to be game changer, guys. So you can do it that way, or you can spray it and then add your glue. So you can kind of do it either way. For this, I think I'm going to do it, I'm going to spray it after I put the glue. So I'm just going to get okay. I'm going to put come on. Get some glue. And we'll give it a spray. Cool. Because there's nothing worse when you're trying to work on a project and you can't get everything to lay down the way you want it to lay down, right? So I'm going to and hopefully you can still see what I'm doing here. All right. I definitely got to make a bigger hole here. Oh, let's try this. And I got this on Amazon, so I will put it in the description below. You got to get it on there. All right. And now I'll just do like a few other tack spots. I know you can't see what I'm doing, but I'm just kind of trying to hold that in place. All right, here we go. Oop. All right, now let's put that in place. So that hides the wires. So I'm going to put the glue on this. All right, you know what I'm going to do? I am just going to snip this top because that hole is just, there we go. Let's see if that works. See if that works any better. There we go. I shouldn't have to fight for this stuff to come out. What in the crap? And then I'm going to spray the bottom. And then we're going to yeah, I just wanted to make sure that it was secured. Okay. And then we will put that one right there. All right, I'm not liking this bottle at all. So what I'm going to end up probably doing, I don't know if it's air that's trapping or... So if any of you have used this and have a better solution, please let me know in the comments. And give that a little spray and then hold it down. And then just to reinforce it, Nice and firm. Okay. I'm just going to stick that in there. All right. And then we're going to glue this to the back after. So let's grab a few shells. I think we'll do one big one there. So I'm just trying to like place, you know, where, and I'm trying to cover as much of the wire as I can. I think that'll be good. Okay. So let's get this big guy mounted right about there. Oh, that's a nice big gob. Okay. I need like 3 hands, guys. Okay. And gonna get some on this corner. All right, I guess I'm gonna have to hold it up just so I can get it where I want it, and then, because it will dry on its own, like it's drying to my finger. All right, so the trick to that is putting the bottle upright. All right, so I got that one in. Now I also got to make sure that I'm not putting it too close for the paper, the plastic sheet that's going to go down. Yeah. So that just, the spray just, it speeds up the process. Which, you know, doing these videos, you need something that is definitely going to be a little quicker. That might have been too much. So now I should be able to just put the glue, because I already sprayed that, and that should, there we go. Okay. And do I put this one or not? Let's see. No, that's too big. All right, so so I think that is cute. It's just enough. So we don't want to go overboard either. I do want to put a starfish though. Let me try to find one that is, yeah, right there. All right, I'm just gonna put that like that. There we go. Okay, so that is done. And let's get this tacked down in the back. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a wax and seal the rest of it. I'll just go around this. There we go. Okay, now let's put a cover on here. For our little face. And before I glue it, I want to make sure that that's going to slide in there. Which it will once that stays still. Okay. Take this out. And so I'm just going to go all the way around. And I'm going to spray this piece. Okay. Now let's take our little piece of plastic. Just a bit. Come It's just a smidge. All right. Let's see. That. Still. And my little cutter thing is upstairs. There we go. Look at that. That is so cute. So, I mean, we could, you know, like we could really like add to this. We could put shells, you know, around the sides of it. So yeah, let me know in the comments. I'm not going to add shells to it right now, but let me know in the comments if you think that is something we should do, or should we just leave it plain? But this is so cute. Oh, I'm going to be doing a lot of different things. I mean, we can do Christmas scenes. We can do Halloween. This is going to be so much fun, guys. Alrighty, I'm going to go ahead and let you go now because I have kept you way too long. And the fish did not fit. They were too thick for this piece. They kind of like stuck out. So, yeah. Alrighty, guys, I will get a close-up picture of this and I will see you on the next video. Thanks, guys. Bye.